Steve, we're here in part two of Senua's Saga. This is Hellblade II, and this is a very, very intense game. Something that stayed off my radar right until the release of this one, but I, I fell in love a little bit. I'm giving this one a 9.5. How about yourself?
I absolutely loved this game. It was everything I expected from a sequel, and I'm actually giving this a 10 out of 10. And there's a reason behind that as well. I managed to complete the first one, Senua's Sacrifice, actually not long ago, and it took me a course of over 3 years. And it is, I will say, it is a very heavy narrative story. So this might not be for everyone, and it deals with a lot with mental health and psychosis as well. And I have to say, Ninja Theory done an amazing job for this sequel because first off, it absolutely looks amazing graphically, and with the audio as well, with the 3D spatial audio, with the voices Senua hears, was wow. They just nailed every point in this game for me, and the story is absolutely amazing. How about yourself there, Scott?
Oh, yes, there's a whole lot that you're met with right at the beginning, and that is the visual richness to it. Everything is so gorgeous, and we are absolutely beyond what my own human eyes can see.
Yep,
So I'm looking at this, and I need to go to Iceland, becomes the answer. But getting to the audio, yes, when you start the game, you are met with a bit of a content warning. And I think that is very well warranted in this case because even if you think you're tough, by the end of it, you're going to hear these voices in your head constantly, constantly. Sometimes they're second guessing you, sometimes they're encouraging you, and it gets really, really loopy to listen to. But that is a must. You must play this game with a headset, in my opinion. Now, I think you're going to have a good time regardless, but with the headset, some of these scenes get so deep and so heavy and just so miserable at times that
yep,
it can be hard to kind of stay with if you're not of a strong mind. But I'm able to get inside of that character and feel just exhausted. There's elements of this game when you're moving through it, it feels like a cutscene that you sometimes interact with, and
yep.
that's not to diminish it at all. What it is really, really intense, heavy feeling, and by the end of these cutscenes, sometimes I'm thinking, could I even climb that
Yep.
anymore? She's so exhausted. Could I even do this? And then it goes for a step even further. We get into the supernatural, and it's just
Yep.
beyond anything that I can imagine. And oh man, the environments behind this game were just gorgeous through and through. That has to be my first takeaway.
Oh yeah, 100%. And what I also liked about this one was the first one was Senua's like battle with the psychosis, with the voices. She didn't know what to do, and I won't say too many spoilers, but she was kind of booted out of the village because she can hear voices which her mum had, and her mum was murdered because they thought she was cursed, and that's why she was excluded from the village. There is quite a lot more depth into the first story that I won't go into for anyone that hasn't played it yet, but you do get a slight recap in the second one. But it doesn't go as deep as actually when you play it yourself with all the audio and the graphics. So what I liked about this one was Senua's a lot more stronger in this game. She's now dealing with the voices. She knows what to listen to and what not because it is just a battle conflict with her conscience basically saying, well, maybe this person doesn't like you. Maybe we shouldn't trust them. Well, let's give that person a try. Let's not go overboard here. And then the whole thing just plays out. And when it starts off and you're on that ship and you're like a slave and the ship crashes at the very, very beginning, and the whole thing is, it's like you said, it's like watching a cutscene, but this format is widescreen, so you get the black bars on it, but the whole thing just looked like a whole movie watching it.
Yeah, there's moments where it kind of gets close, and you see just a little bit too much detail on the faces actually. And towards the end, I noticed even just in one of the cutscenes right at the very end, you could see the fuzz, just the slight peach fuzz growing on her face, and I'm thinking, holy, Ninja Theory must have put what 10,000 hours behind this game just making it look this good. But getting into the kind of letterbox format of it, that's where I think I felt that fatigue. I could
Yeah,
see Senua just struggling from it, and it felt like a really, really long one cut through a movie, just no jump cuts or anything. It was so brutal. And I'm struggling with it, and I'm going, okay, this is a bit much. I think I might need a break. And then
Yeah.
we get to the fighting, and the
Yes.
combat comes through, and now the combat is actually a relief, which is so bizarre to me because the combat, now I'm being tested. Okay, now's my time to shine. Oh no, what if I can't figure it out properly? But you're listening to encouraging voices the whole time
Yeah.
through as well. But when you are able to finally get into those fights, it's frantic, it's really heavy, and it's really, really brutal. And
Yeah.
then when it's over with, I go, okay, I can handle a little bit more of the intensity now. It was just so bizarre to highlight that that was just a relief from the other action, which in most games would have been the really low point.
Yeah, and you do a lot of walking around. It is very linear because it is narrative, so they expect you to follow from point A to point B. There is certain areas that you can explore, but you get like, because your ability of the psychosis, you also have a focus that certain things may not appear what they seem to be with normal eyes. So when you focus in, it might open a little crevice or like an entrance to somewhere else, another part of the map. But overall, though, Scott, this game is absolutely amazing. I loved it. It had me hooked from the beginning. I don't want to talk too much about the story because there's a lot to it and it could give a lot away. And that is why I'm giving this game a 10 out of 10. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, you want to be careful about how to recap the story because that is the leading hook throughout this game. But I do have to take a little bit of points off of it. A 9.5 is what I'm left with, but that's because of a little bit of technical issue. I got hung up on a rock one time, and sometimes I wish the combat was a little deeper, maybe a little challenging, a little more challenging. But regardless, this is a must play.
This is the price. If you want them to help you again.
You have to find your way to them.
Yes.